Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Megan Hine, and today I'm going to be filming my Beautycounter makeup review. I'll be sharing with you all the Beautycounter products that I currently own, along with my thoughts on each of them. I'm also going to be writing a corresponding blog post. I'll put the link down in the description box below. If you check that out, I'll put more in-depth information on all the products along with swatches. The first product that I'm going to be sharing with you today is their Tint Skin Hydrating Foundation. I have the shade Honey, and this is a very lightweight, medium to light coverage foundation, very comparable in texture and coverage to traditional BB creams. It retails for $41 and you get 1.35 fluid ounces. I usually will apply this with a dense buffer brush or just with my fingertips. So I do think you really need to buff it into the skin to blend or use your fingers to really warm it up so it sits better on your skin. So they have this product in 8 different shades. I do find the color to be quite forgiving. I started wearing this when I had a bit more of a tan, and it still matches pretty well now that I'm a little paler in winter. I like to wear this on days that I don't want to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. It's not going to mask all of your imperfections, so your natural skin will definitely show through. However, there are days and occasions where that's fine and that works for me. I have it on today. I've set it with powder and applied concealer where I need a little more coverage. Okay, next up I've got the Beautycounter Touch-Up Skin Concealer Pen. I have the shade Medium 1, and I have medium skin, although I think the camera's kind of washing me out. My skin is usually medium tan. I find that medium 1 is a perfect match for my skin tone. It is a bit too dark and not brightening enough for my under eye area. I can get away with it. I've got it on today, but it definitely matches my skin a lot better than that particular area. You get 0.09 fluid ounces of product for $32, and a little bit goes a long way. How I use this, I'll usually remove the cap. As you can see, it's a little brush applicator. I will rarely put this directly on my face. What I usually do is click up the bottom once or twice, apply it onto my hand, and then from there I'll use a small, fine concealer brush and just kind of point conceal blemishes or areas where I need a little more coverage. It blends beautifully. I'll apply it onto my skin and all you need to do is tap it in and it looks seamless. This concealer comes in 5 different shades, and on their website you can find a chart that lists out all of their foundation colors and then the corresponding concealer colors, which is super helpful. Next up, I have their Color Contour Matte Bronzer. I have the shade number 2, which might be a bit washed out on camera, so check out my blog for better swatches of this. It's $39, which is pretty steep for a bronzer, but I've been using it on a daily basis for about 3 months now, and I haven't even made a dent in the surface. It's going to take me a while to even hit pan on this. One thing to note, the packaging on the bronzer feels a little cheap. It has held up pretty well. The front has gotten a bit stained just from being in my makeup bag. It's made of a lightweight cardboard coated in some sort of water resistant type material. But just compared to the concealer, which is in a heavy duty gold colored tube, this looks cheap. They don't even seem to really go together, in my opinion. They look like they're from completely different brands. So I would like to see this in a more classy luxe compact, especially for the price you're paying. At $39, that's on par with high-end bronzers that are coming in really beautiful designs. The bronzer has great pigmentation. I just need a tiny little swipe, and I'll usually use this to just lightly contour and bronze my cheekbones, around my forehead. I'll often use this as my crease color for my eyeshadow too. It's a really beautiful warm brown bronzy color, completely matte. There's no shimmer. I think Beautycounter did a wonderful job on the color of this particular bronzer. It does come in a shade lighter, so that would be number 1. Um, this works well on me, but if you are fair, I would probably suggest number 1 instead. Okay, next up I've got the Color Pinch Cream Blusher. I've got the shade Hibiscus, and this is $37 for 0.2 ounces. The color is absolutely beautiful on this. I'll show you a little swatch here. It's a real rosy pink, great pigmentation. As you can see, one little swipe put a ton of color down, and once you shear it out, it really leaves you with a really nice wash of color. I really like the packaging on this. It's very luxe. It's got a good weight to it. A little bit goes a long way. I've had this for 3 months, and it's right now it's rolled all the way down. I barely made a dent in this. I've got a long way to go. It blends beautifully into the skin. You can blend it with your fingers or a buffing brush. What I'll usually do, I'll take it and put 2 dots on my cheeks, and that's enough for a really nice flush of color. A brush is definitely going to shear it out. If you want that bright pop, just kind of tap around the edges with your finger. Next up, I have their Mattifying Skin Finishing Powder. This is a translucent setting powder that I usually will sweep on after I put all my makeup, just to tone down any dewiness. You can use it to touch up during the day if you get a little bit shiny as well. You get a ton of product in here. This whole thing is filled with powder, so I'm not going to tip it. This is their one makeup product that I don't necessarily think is worth the price. A great alternative I would recommend would be the Silk Naturals Untinted Blur. You get 1 ounce for $12, so nearly 3 times the amount of product at a fraction of the price. Another reason that I don't love this product is that it contains bismuth oxychloride, which on some people, myself included, can make your skin itch a bit. On days where it's super warm out or I'm sweating, I'll notice the itching quite a bit. So if you're sensitive to that particular ingredient, I would say skip this product. Okay, so now we are moving on to eye products. I've got the Beautycounter Color Outline Eye Pencil in black. The pencil is $23 and it's a traditional eyeliner pencil. You need a separate sharpener to sharpen it. It's not a self-sharpener. On the other end, you have a smudger, which I don't use all that often, but nice to have if you want that smoked out look. I wasn't super impressed with this eyeliner. I love a dark jet black, almost gel-like eyeliner. That's my personal preference. This is a very light, almost like a soft black shade. It has fairly decent lasting power and it comes off quite easily at night with a bit of face wash or makeup remover. Here I've got the Beautycounter Lengthening Mascara, and it only comes in 1 shade, which is black. This is probably the skinniest tube of mascara I've ever seen. I don't know if you can tell, but it's way skinnier than most conventional mascaras or any other ones I've tried before. The brush is a really, really thin, short, bristled brush. It's not a silicone brush, so they are bristles, like a traditional mascara. It's a very natural yet lengthening mascara. I personally prefer a volumizing mascara, and while you can build this up with a few coats, it's never going to give you that false lash effect. The one pro, I guess, which might be considered a con to some people, is the staying power of this. It does not smudge, and in fact is really difficult to remove at night, which is great because it's not smudging on your face all day, but it's so hard to get off. I've used the Beautycounter Cleansing Balm, which is an oil-based thick cream cleanser, and even that, I don't know, I've got to really scrub at my eye to get all product off. Next up is the Color Define Brow Pencil, and I have the shade Dark. There are 3 different shades, obviously for different hair colors. Like the eyeliner, it is a traditional pencil that you need a sharpener with. On the other end, you have a nice little spoolie to kind of brush your brows up and tidy them up a bit. I think this is a really great brow pencil for every day. Makes my brows look super natural and I can fill in as needed. I can get them looking quite defined if that's what I'm going for. Okay, so now on to lip products. One of Beautycounter's best-selling products is their lip sheer. I have it here in the shade Plum, and it's $30. Has a really nice light vanilla scent. I really like the packaging of this product. It's a pretty heavy gold tube. They named this product perfectly. It is literally just a sheer wash of color. I can apply it without a mirror, almost like a chapstick, but it's got really great pigmentation to it. I just applied a bit more on my lips. You could really see the color, how natural it looks. I didn't need a mirror or anything. You can apply it just like a chapstick. It's really smooth and feels super moisturizing. They have 10 different shades of nothing matte though, so all of the lip sheers are quite shiny. Beautycounter's other lip product is their lip gloss. I have the shade Fig here, which I'll just pop right on top of Plum. Again, has that really pleasant, not overwhelming vanilla scent. It's not sticky at all. Like, you know, some lipsticks where you go like that and your lips actually kind of stick together. This is super smooth. It's got some pigmentation, but it is just a gloss. A bit more high shine than the lip sheer. The lip gloss costs $29, so on par with the lip sheer. I don't necessarily regret buying the gloss, however, I much prefer the lip sheer. So if you're deciding between one or the other, I'd go for the sheer. Okay, so the final makeup item that I purchased from Beautycounter was one of their winter palettes. Right here. This is the Winter Warmth palette. They came out with 2 this winter. One was for warmer tones, the other was for cooler tones. So naturally, I went for the warmer of the 2. I don't love the packaging of this. It's very reminiscent of the bronzer. It's that same cardboardy feeling. However, it doesn't have as much of a coating, so I don't know if you can tell, but mine is a little scuffed up, dinged around. For a palette, I think I would prefer something a bit more substantial. Another thing, it doesn't have a mirror, not a deal breaker, but for an on-the-go, everything in one place kind of product, it'd be nice to have a mirror so you could just pop this out, touch up your shadow or blush. I'll do a more in-depth review on the palette itself since there are so many, whoops, since there are so many colors. I'll go over each one in a bit more detail. I do really like one of the blush shades. It's called Tawny. I don't know if they sell it on its own, but of the 2, that's the only one I really use. It's impossible to see this. So, oh, actually that was a little better. Let's see. Everything looks so washed out. I look like a ghost. I think the palettes would be a really great option for either a gift or someone fairly new to makeup who wants a lot of colors for not a lot of money. Okay guys, so that does it for my Beautycounter makeup review. I really enjoy a lot of their products. I think they are on par with a lot of high-end makeup brands. However, they are all non-toxic. So if that's something that is a priority for you, I would definitely suggest checking them out. I'll leave a link to my specific Beautycounter shop below if you want to purchase anything that you saw today.